back in 2013, Buffalo Niagara Waterkeeper and a lot of our technical partners and stakeholders and community partners conducted a comprehensive planning effort to try to figure out where some of the best bet opportunities for habitat conservation are within the Niagara River watershed. So this site here, after a lot of planning and assessment, after taking a look at the DEC's mapped locations for some of our native brook trout and taking a look then at some of the barriers to those trout for spawning and successful thriving, if that's a word, we were able to narrow down to a handful of barriers for native brook trout passage, and then we were able to prioritize them in a high, medium, and low kind of way. And this culvert, out of all the culverts that were identified, was the highest ranked priority for removal to improve the health of our native brook trout. And so just for some historical context, and hopefully some of my partners here will talk more about this, this stream here is part of the Upper Tonawanda Creek system, and we are at the really tippy top of the Niagara River watershed. And so if you were to go just a few hundred, probably not a few hundred feet, but a couple miles the other direction, we're going to be draining to the Finger Lakes watershed and not to the Niagara River. And so habitats like those behind us are really important. They're cold water habitats. They support our native species. They are good indicators of overall water quality throughout the watershed. And so one other aspect of this project, aside from the fish, which are really beautiful, is that we've got about 360,000 consumers who get their drinking water supply from headwater streams just like this. So we're about 3 miles upstream of the Attica Reservoir. This stream behind me is a drinking water supply for those residents. So it's also really important from a human perspective. So all that to say, this project started off really in earnest in 2015. It started off with a fairly modest idea to remove a 3-foot, Tom is laughing over there, to remove a 3-foot in diameter culvert and replace it with something that would enable fish to jump into it and swim upstream. It would be embedded in the stream. It would be correctly aligned with the stream channel, and all of that to open up about 1.5 miles of additional habitat for our trout to spawn in. About 8 years later, we now have a brand new 13.3-foot diameter culvert that has been installed. And one of the additional benefits to having such a large culvert is that we were also able to address some of the hydrologic impairments that went along with the system. So because of the small culvert size, some of the sediment had backed up. It was really kind of creating havoc with the stream channel itself and just creating a poor set of habitat conditions. So I'm happy to say that today we are here celebrating, and we will be doing a ribbon cutting to finally send this project and the trout to their new habitat along their way.